All right, we did this pencil drawing, and then we inked it. We had some errors, I had some errors with the drawing, and we tried to fix those, and now we're gonna just add some watercolor to it. And we're just gonna start. And when I do this, I'm not too careful because I like the looseness of it. And I also like trying to get some accidents and see if we can't get something that's pretty cool happening without us trying. So I like to have at it. So this is the tree that this cardinal's on. And I use different greens and some blue maybe to make it darker near the bird. And I add some just some more bold colors. And watercolor dries lighter than when you put it on there. So I try to put something down. Oh, we have it messed up here. See how this water is running? Can you see that? And it's creating this, whatever that's called, wet effect that's not ideal. We're gonna go back into there and we'll add more paint, and we should be able to fix it. We're gonna do the sun here. Ooh, that is some dirty yellow. It's very green. So let's see if we can't, let's wet that a little bit to soften it up. And I want it clear towards the edge. That's what I should have done in the first place. And we'll put a pinch of orange. And we'll see how that works. And I'll probably come back in. Yeah, that's a more saturated yellow. And what I mean by that is saturated color is that color just intensely, so a very yellow, if you could say. And that, as the water's wet, or the water's wet, that's a brilliant line, write that down. As the paper's wet, the watercolor goes to where the water is, and it's gonna diffuse, and you can see that happening there. We're gonna leave that. Hopefully it does not get all the way to the edge of where the water is. If it does, that's fine, and we'll see what we can do with that after. All right, now my little girl. This is yellow ochre. No, a little red, alizarin crimson. And then you can see the puddles there, right? So I dabbed my brush on the paper towel, dried it, and then I'm gonna just go back into it and pick those puddles up. Oh, let's get her ear. And there. So now before that dries, no, that doesn't matter. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of that to her hands. And since I have the ochre there, I'm gonna go back in and add some more to her skin. And I keep drying my brush because I don't want a puddle. So here, again, I'm gonna go in and just pick up some of that water and paint I put down. And that's a way you can control this a little bit. And I might even pick this up because that was a little too much on the hands. All right, what are we gonna do? We're gonna do some brown hair. Oh, that's not very brown. I think that was a burnt sienna. So I get the brown, grabbing ultramarine blue again. That should make that really gray. But I'm just trying to get darker. So I'm in here with the dark brown. There we go. And I want a little color in there. So I just got a little bit of red. See if we can't give that just a little variety. Oh, I forgot to do, that's the line. If you watch the inking video, this line right here I made a mistake on, and that's because I wanted her hair curling down there and her arm went lower. But I messed that up. So I'm going to go in and add a little bit of her hair there. Add a little bit of red to that too. And let's see if we can't. Yeah, I smoothed that line out just to give it a little bit more of a effect of her cheek. All right, so now I'm gonna do Jean's color. So that's just a dirty blue I'm using, ultramarine. If you have Payne's Gray, that's a good color you could use for that too. That could mix with it. Okay, I'm going to add some water here because I'm going to flood in some greens. Then I want some ochre to be like some sand or something. Maybe some of that brown. And I like texture and what's happening here. So let's see if we can maybe get some of that gray. Oh, I put green on that one. That might be all right though. That'll be interesting. And maybe that can, yeah, we'll soften that so it looks like it's blending in with the grass there. Okay, and we're going to get some of that gray again, just to boop, boop. It's almost like Happy Trees there, isn't it? I wonder how many artists, the influence that he had on artists has to be astounding. Little happy artist making not the same painting, but similar, certainly a style of painting, over and over for years in, you know, Michael Jordan and you know Bob Ross. Unbelievable. Oh, messed up. Needed to wait for that to dry. So I went in with my brush, dry brush, and I'm picking it up. And now it's just softer and lighter, and I'll be able to fix that later. And what color does this little girl's shoes? What color shoes does this little girl have? Let's try saying that again. There we go. Bright red. No. Let's pick up some of that paint. Pink, that's better. And that was just alizarin crimson intensely. And then picked up. So the eye has some of the skin color in it. So I got some clean water. I just wet where the eye was. I have a paper towel here. I'm just going to dab it on there to see if that picks that paint up. It did a little bit, not as well as I'd like it to. So I'm going to try doing it again. I think I probably waited too long. Yep, I think that is actually a little better. Let's do, so I'm trying to jump around because as you saw there, if you put the wet paint next to each other, it bleeds. So I'm going to do the green 4-leaf clover. And I want that quite saturated, quite intense. So it really, you really see it. And then I just dried my brush because there was a lot of paint on there. Taking a little bit of it just so I can do the stem. Okay. Let's see. All right, I think her face is probably dry. I'm going to put just a little bit of pink on her cheek. Let's go in and add some bright brown strokes to try to show some texture on her hair. And those should soften up. The edges will soften a little bit, but that sharpness is also kind of cool with watercolor. While we're waiting for this area to dry so we can take care of her shirt, actually, let's leave her shirt. Yeah, we'll go in and add some more green to the trees here. And again, this dark green next to the red is going to make that pop a lot because they're complements. Another, if you like beautiful art, ink drawings and watercolor, of course, Bill Watterson, the artist for Calvin and Hobbes comics. You'll see some of his watercolor artwork, and his pen and ink is just fantastic. And of course the stories are fantastic too. I have a bunch of green on my brush, trying to keep the tight point, and just trying to add some strands of grass here. And I'm not coloring in where I have the lines. The lines are its own art. And then I'm going to do some separately. Why is this bouncing? There we go. Separately from that. All right, let's add some red back to that little bug. There we go. Helicopter going by. My pilot's back. Great. I've sold a lot of paintings. I have my own helicopter. I do not. I have not. All right, let's add some more red back there. And that is bleeding. And I think that is a little too much red, so I'm going in and picking it up with my brush. And I should have waited for that to dry. But we'll see what happens. And let's see, you can see the yellow. See how it's soft and all that. Now we'll go back in and we'll see what happens if we put in some yellow here. Is that going to show up? Yep, I think it does a little bit. Okay, so I think we're going to add some blue, maybe around the girl, which will make her white shirt show up, and then we'll add a little bit of color to the shirt. I want to be careful here because I don't want to get any of the other colors. The grass, it's going to blend in there. That'll be fine. And maybe even some of this clover is going to blend in with it or bleed into it. That's alright though. I actually like that. That'll give it a look of glowing. Didn't want that. So what can we do about that? I did it on purpose to show you, right? I say that an awful lot. I wish I could believe it. So I just grabbed a piece of tissue, paper towel, and I'm just trying to get it. You want to do this quickly. You don't want to sit here and talk about it. And you just dab it. And that got most of it up. I actually like that look of the 3-leaf clover bleeding. So we're going to let that part dry, see what we can come back to, maybe add some more detail to the rock. A little shadow there. Add no paint on there. Add a little shadow to her legs. All right, we're going to let that dry, and then we will come back to finish up with the shirt. I think that has dried. We're going to just finish up painting her shirt. And what do you think color we'll do? We'll probably do pink, some red stripes, and that should be about it. And you could also, if you don't want to wait, you can use a hair dryer, something like that, just to speed it up. And I think that looks fantastic. I don't mean it like that. So I hope you like that. So we had 3 videos here. We went from pencil to ink to watercolor. Hope you liked it. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment. Let me know what you think. Have a great time exploring, and it's nice because it's loose. You get to try the soft edges and it bleeding and seeing what happens. So yeah, thanks again for watching. Have a great day, and remember to smile, create, repeat.